Hey guys, I know you guys are tuning in to figure out what the new daily is because currently I am dailying this beast right here. It's the 6.0, currently known as 6.0 Titan, rolling on 375 Nitos with 22x14 Anthems. It's on a 6-inch suspension, so of course this thing is a huge gas hog. Pretty obvious. People are probably wondering, why would he even daily one in the first place? Well, probably because when I first got it, I was 19 and I like lifted trucks and I wasn't practical about getting something that was good on gas mileage. So I kind of went backwards, but I mean, it's been good for me 2.5 years. The truck's still currently running. Reason I'm mainly getting it is just to save me on gas. I started thinking, I'm like, well, what's the point in, spending anywhere from $200 to $400, a month in diesel when a car payment, for a little truck or something is going to be about the same thing, But I mean, the main reason is because there was some points when I was driving before this job I had, which is a little closer. I was driving about 45 minutes every day, so hour and a half there and back from work. And so, I mean, I was spending almost $400 a month in diesel during the week, and then the weekend would come, and I love cruising this beast around on the weekends. Love going to town, going to Joplin, just driving around. So, I mean, that was another major issue with me. I love driving this thing, just cruising around in it. And so that's kind of was a big factor that came into it. There was times, I only spent $40, driving to work. I think right now I'm probably spending about $50 a week. So, I mean, $200 a month is at least what I'm spending driving this thing around. And that's not including, other times whenever I go to shows, that are far away, or I just feel like driving it more that day. Plus I want to keep the miles off this poor thing. I've been driving the crap out of it, but I mean, it was just time for something new. It was more practical to get payments and do something else and keep the miles off this puppy. I guess the only other thing left to do is to show you guys the new truck. And the thing, I think one of my most favorite things about this little truck that I'm about to show you guys is it's the same color as this truck. 4-wheel drive also, and it's also Ford. So I thought this was pretty cool. So we got like a little baby Titan for this guy right here. His little brother is what we got, little truck. So I'm gonna flip the camera around and here's the reveal. Now, I know this isn't, the nicest thing ever, but I think that it would be kind of cool, to do a few little similar things from this truck and relate it over to this. I don't know if they make like a mesh grill, some black headlights, kind of like what I got on my truck. Just like little stuff, incorporated over to that. I don't really plan on putting a lot of work into this thing and really building it just because I want to keep the gas mileage pretty decent. But this little truck has the 4-wheel drive. It's got the tow package. It's got the power mirrors. It's got the 4.0 V6 and a positive rear end. I can confirm that because I did a few burnouts in it. And I'm actually really surprised. Not that it's so much powerful, but how easily it will do it. Like usually little trucks like this, they have, they don't have a lot of power, but I mean, like they have trouble, spinning out a tire. They'll just do one wheeler peel, but this little guy will do 2 of them. So I'm really actually surprised at that. So that's pretty neat. And so, I mean, of course, a little truck like this, it's an 03. So, I mean, it's going to have a few little issues, but I think my most favorite thing about it is this little guy has only got 100,000 miles. So pretty low miles relative to this, and I mean, in 2.5 years, I put like 35,000 miles on it. So, I mean, it's almost been 3 years, so like 10,000 miles a year, more or less, about what it's averaging to. I did my math wrong earlier. Anyways, so I mean, in let's say 3 years, 30,000 miles a year, and split between the two, I'll probably drive that 10 and this one at least 20,000. I mean, this thing will last a good long while. It's got the 4.0 in it. These 4.0s are pretty reliable motors. Let me pop the hood. It is pretty dirty. There you go. It is pretty dirty. I know everyone says it. Every dealer always goes, oh, it was owned by an old lady. But this was legit owned by an old lady. Like, no joke. An old lady owned this truck. I went and bought it from her. And sadly, her husband passed away. And this was kind of like their little truck they drive around every now and then, load up wood and stuff like that. And he passed away, so they didn't really have a use for it anymore, because I guess he was the main one that drove it, other than the grandma, the wife, you know. So she decided it was time to sell it, and her name's on the title and everything, and it has sat a lot. It's very dusty. Let me get my hand on this deal. It's sat around a lot, you know. From what I can tell, they put a new battery. Whenever I got in the truck, initially there was like a lot of dust and stuff like that in the truck. I put down the little visor or whatever to kind of block all the sun, and some dust fell out. When I looked underneath the hood, I mean, obviously it just sat, and that's what they said. They're like, yeah, some of these tires have a little bit of dry rot on them, which I don't really see anything too major. You can kind of see, you know, some, which, I mean, I'll still be cautious of that either way. So, I mean, dry rot, dust on the inside, it sat. New battery tells me that this thing sat for a long time. When they decided, okay, it's time to sell it, they went to crank it over, wouldn't start, so they put a new battery in it, and that was the issue. So, like I said, that everything points to the fact that it sat around a lot. And in some cases, it can be kind of bad because fluids and stuff have to, you know, circulate through the motor and everything. But she said they owned it for 10 years, so I'm not really too worried about it. I think they kept up with maintenance more or less. I need to check my oil and everything like that, do an oil change, filters, and kind of just go through the truck, detail that engine bay. One thing that's pretty funny about this truck that twins with my truck, let me show you this first. So I don't know if some of you guys have seen, oh, it's kind of bright, there you go. Some of you guys see my Band-Aid from my dent right here. So I got a dent on my truck, and I got a Band-Aid over it. And over here on this little truck, they were loading wood on it one day and dented it. Of course, this one's a lot bigger, but I mean, same side, almost the exact spot, it's got a dent. So I mean, it's a little rough. Like I said, I mean, it's a daily. It's not like I'm looking to build something super sweet out of it, but I mean, that's just something else. There you go, look at that. Four-wheel drive, both little red trucks. So that's pretty cool. Both single cabs. Well, this one's got that like extra little cab space. I don't understand this. Why they call it that extra, like, I'll just show you. Like, this is pretty much a freaking single cab. Like, you can sit like two little babies in them. Those are super tiny little seats. Look at that. What are you gonna sit in that thing? But I mean, it's whatever. Interior is super clean. There's no rips or tears anywhere on this. Usually they're torn right here, but it looks pretty well, you know, taken care of. They had their covers on. Same thing on that side. That's kind of annoying. There you go. Put my little RBP lanyard on it from LTN. Oh, I thought this was so freaking neat. I never actually have this. So it locks up. So I mean that's simple. Like, it's little things. I mean, that's still pretty cool. It's not got anything done to it. You can see 100,000 miles on it. It's not got anything fancy done to it. It's stock as heck. But I mean, what do you expect? It was owned by an older couple. And oh, is that thing locked? Ooh. I was gonna say, I don't even have a spare key for it, mate. But I mean, yeah, it's kind of rough. You can see a bunch of like swirl marks through it. You know, it's scratched to heck, but they're clear coat. Yeah, they're clear coat marks. So those can come out. There's a few little, you can kind of see some little dents and stuff on the hood from hail damage. I'm not too worried about it, but I double checked the four-wheel drive does work. It will need some tires soon, only because I keep doing burnouts in this thing. It's just fun. It's just something to drive around that's not so big and heavy like this guy, you know, a lot more maneuverable. Like sometimes those tires rub, you know, if I'm you know, flexing at weird angles. So I mean, sometimes I'll have 5-point turns, and then this right here is just 1-point turns, and it just goes, you know. It's a pretty sweet little truck. I really do love it. I do plan on putting some pods, like LED pods, like on my bumper and those little fog light holes, so delete those. You know, seeing if I seen that there's a place up here in Joplin that wraps vehicles, and I was gonna see if they could paint match, because that's what the different other guy just paint match wrap, you know, my rear bumpers, you know, just little things like that. Go through with this and buy some of that trim spray to get that back to its original colors. That's super faded black, really ugly. Same thing on these bumpers. See, it's got the little chrome bumpers on it, just like what my truck used to have, but I bought the 08 bumper, paint matched, and put it on there. Painting, it's not really that bad, but I mean, if someone can wrap it and I don't even have to mess with it, that would be really nice. I thought the thing I like about this is it's got like a lot of paint match. Well, I'm sure that came out factory like that, but my truck didn't have stuff like that, you know, stuff like that, you know. So see, that's, you know, paint match. Mine on my truck isn't. The grill, you know, the whole thing's red all around it, and whenever I got mine, it was completely chrome. The whole thing was chrome. I didn't really like that. And I know that they sell inserts. Some you can just like cut these out, put them in, and then they screw in, you know. So I might just buy like a little black grill insert and then just leave this black, red, because I really like that a lot. That it looks clean, it looks good. So put some LED bulbs in it, because these are horrible at night. Horrible. I cannot see anything at night with these. I do plan on deleting those steps. I don't see a reason in having steps with the truck this small. So I mean, if I can hop in my truck that has no steps at all, I think I can hop in this thing. So I mean, overall, these trucks are pretty good little trucks, but for the most part, I saw on forums and everything that they're very reliable vehicles. A lot of people were like, yeah, I went 75,000 miles with my truck, knock on wood, and I didn't have any issues. You know, I went 40,000 and I'm still going. So I mean, a lot of these people have had these trucks for a while, and they say they haven't had any issues. Just keep up with their maintenance. And I'm a strong believer in keeping up with maintenance, considering that I own a 6.0, the worst motor on the market. So I mean, I do my maintenance religiously on this truck, not because it's a 6.0, but just because I just like taking care of my stuff. There's no point in beating the heck out of something and then making it a burden on someone else, you know, selling the truck and then be like, man, this dang kid ruined this truck. And it's a good looking truck. It's a good truck. It's got me where I needed to go, has never left me stranded. It's just a good truck overall. This truck's been good to me. It does need a little bit of work. I'm having a little issues with it, but it's nothing horrible. 2.5 years I had it and I finally run an issue. I call it a plus. Last vehicle I had, every single month I was running an issue, and I got pretty tired of that really quick. So, I mean, I'm happy with this truck. I don't plan on letting it go soon. Now, if it does get to the point where one day it does start having its 6.0 issues or whatnot, you know, and I just get tired of pouring money in the motor or something like that, then I mean, I'll let it go. I can't hold on to something just because, you know, I have feelings for it. I'd rather just, you know, take whatever money I get out of this, put, you know, a fat $7,000 down payment on some really nice truck, and then use, you know, whatever I got left, you know, the other $5-6 grand or whatever, and buy wheels, lift, tires, or something pretty decent. You know, I've seen some people sell their used lifts on Instagram for their nice trucks and whatnot, and they're asking pretty dirt cheap. So I'd probably just do something like that, take advantage of a moment like that. Save yourself some money. So that's probably what I plan on doing. Not really sure, but on this little guy, I will probably throw, you know, like a little leveling kit on it, just so it sits up a little higher. Obviously, yes, it's going to kill some of that MPG, you know, but, you know, and some little 12 wides or something. You know, I just want a little bit of stance. I don't want it to be completely stock. So I mean, paint match, take step off, little wheels and tires with some offset, you know, and then probably just do like a little exhaust. I kind of do honestly want a roof rack. I always had a soft spot for it. I think that'd be kind of cool. I don't know. Like I said, I don't plan on going crazy and building this thing, but I do want to do a few little things so it's not boring. I hate driving completely stock stuff, you know. You guys are probably wondering, what did he pay? So keep in mind, it is a 4-wheel drive, 4.0 V6, very reliable little motors. It's got the tow package, power windows, it's got the cruise control, it's got the little key lock, whatever that is, whatever that's called, key fob. There was something else I was gonna say. Oh yeah, and it's only has 100,000 miles. This little truck I picked up for $4,200. So $4,200 is what I picked up this little truck for. It's really not a bad deal. You can go on Marketplace from my area here in Missouri, Southwest Missouri. You're usually looking at that little truck being high fives. I went to the bank, pulled out a small loan, not because I can't afford it, but just because I need to build my credit. I want to get to the point where I can be able to just say, hey, I want that 2017 Power Stroke. Well, do you have good enough credit? And be like, yeah, check my credit, buddy. So I got a credit card. I've paid, this truck's been paid off for a year and a half. This little truck, I can pay this thing off easily in a year, considering I paid that off in a year. But anyways, so this truck, I'm going to drag it out just so that I can build up my credit a little more. I have a credit card as well and another small loan that I'm dragging out just to help build my credit. So I'm at the point right now where I'm trying to kind of get to the point where I will probably let this guy go. And the next build will be a really nice Power Stroke, a newer truck, something I'll be able to get with my line of credit. So that's something I'm kind of looking for in the future. But for now, we're sticking with the 6.0 Titan. Maybe one day, 6.7 Titan. But I mean, here's my little truck right here. If you guys got suggestions on what to name this little guy right here, let me know. I was thinking Ketchup, because it's kind of a funny name, but it's also really cheesy. So I don't know. You guys just tell me what you guys think we should name it. But I mean, I think that's all for today. This was kind of a lengthy video. I don't know if it was or not. I still got to edit it, whatever. But I mean, that's pretty much it, guys. Don't forget to check out Diesel Power Gear. They got some sweaters, they got long sleeves, they got hats, they got everything you could think of. Jam Handle, another one of my sponsors. Pretty cool company, you know, keeps your rig clean. Also Boost Auto Parts. These guys are the way to go. Are the ones that provided my awesome tow mirrors with the switchbacks. So very awesome company to be working with. And I cannot forget about Anthem Wheels. Great company to be working with on getting us set up like that. Really love them. And so don't forget to check out my bio, like, subscribe, tell me what you think, what you want to see. And if you have any questions about Little Ranger, or you got a funny little name for it, DM me on Instagram, DM me on Snapchat, message me on here, drop a comment, whatever you want. Find me on Snapchat at 6.0 Titan right here. And also find me on Instagram at 6.0 Titan. Spelled a little different. So same thing, different name, whatever. But thank you guys for watching. Don't forget, like, subscribe. Tell me if you want me to lift this thing up. Tell me if you want to say screw the miles per gallon and just build it, make it a mini Titan or what. Thank you guys. Talk to you later.